Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Windows emulation on Android with GameHub. And if you're a fan of GameHub but maybe a little bit skeptical about it, there is an unofficial fan version of GameHub that has been released, and it's called GameHub Lite. So release version 1.0 has just dropped. There is a very interesting write-up over on Reddit emulation on Android, and they say here, I removed all tracking and spyware from GameHub, cut APK size by 59%. A few weeks ago, I posted on Reddit about GameHub's unethical data collection practices. The app was loaded with tracking SDKs, invasive permissions, and telemetry sending data to Chinese servers. Instead of just complaining, I decided to do something about it. I reverse engineered the entire app, removed all the spyware, and created GameHub Lite. They also posted the detailed breakdown of exactly what they did. They removed 31 invasive permissions, including location, microphone, camera, contacts, and phone state. Deleted 6 tracking SDKs, that's over 500 tracking files gone. Eliminated all telemetry, 0 data sent to vendors now. Disabled social login tracking, WeChat, QQ, AirPlay. Removed device fingerprinting, they can't track your device anymore. Furthermore here, they say they completely bypassed the login requirement, no more forced account creation, no social login tracking, and this is a huge one, works offline. The entire project is up on GitHub. There is an APK that has been released, and if you're interested and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, link will be within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. And speaking about removing and blocking and getting around things, next up we're talking about PlayStation 3 emulation with RPCS3. And the RPCS3 team has a very interesting tweet. They say here, we are aware that users living in countries under state censorship cannot connect to RPCN online servers. We do not have any countrywide blocks in place. If you are affected by internet censorship, we recommend you use a VPN to be able to play on RPCN and freely access the web. Unfortunately, I don't know which specific countries they're talking about, and I don't know which VPNs are allowed in certain countries. From my understanding, certain VPNs are blocked in certain countries. And on a completely different side note, talking about VPNs, my normal go-to VPNs are NordVPN and SurfShark. And lately, I've been leaning a little bit towards Proton VPN. And speaking about emulation, next up here, we're talking about Nintendo 64 emulation with RMG, where RMG stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Rosalie's Mupen GUI, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. And RMG just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, the latest update to RMG is version 0.8.4, and this update has a bunch of fixes and some brand new stuff, including some updates to Mupen 64 Plus Core, Glide N64, and SDL Game Controller DB. And speaking about GUIs and front ends and all of that stuff, next up here we're talking about Nostlan, which is a front end for a bunch of different emulators. And Nostlan version 3.4 open box upgrades just dropped. So as for what's new here, there's quite a bit. 1,624 PS2 manuals have been added, 192 N64 manuals added, 271 N64 cart images added, 696 SNES manuals added, full DuckStation support, full macOS 26 liquid glass app icon support. And speaking about emulators and development, but turning it into a game, and next up here we're talking about EmuDevs, which is a game about emulator development. So here's what they say about the game. In the year 32767, the world suffered a massive cyber attack which destroyed the entire internet. Since then, you and an online friend are trying to understand these sparse pieces of documentation about the NES, an ancient game console released in 1983. With your programming skills, you'll have to build an emulator that runs those old games, helping preserve the video game history. This game is 100% free. It's up on GitHub, and if you're interested in checking it out, feel free to. I mean, it seems pretty interesting overall. and it kind of reminds me of Uplink, but it's completely different altogether. If you played this one, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below and if you learned anything from it. And on a side note, if you've never played Uplink, this may be a game worth putting on your Steam wish list. Currently, it's not very expensive. Right now, it's sitting at, well, Canadian $15.49. I think that's around like 12 bucks American. And for even more savings, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same game up on GOG for 60% off, and this one is DRM free. And speaking about development, next up we're talking about Halo, and it seems as if behind the curtain, things may not necessarily be good over at Halo. This is a post over on LinkedIn from Glenn Israel, who is the former art director at 343 Industries. So this post has been circling around the internet and has been reported a number of times. Glenn says, as of today and after 17 long years, I'm officially no longer contributing to the Halo universe. There is little more I can say for the moment, though I intend to share this particular story in its entirety when it is absolutely safe to do so next year. In the meantime, I have a message for anyone and everyone who needs to hear it. I know that the state of our industry seems dire, but never forget that you are free to choose. No illusion of security, nor promise of wealth or fame or power is worth trading away your health, your dignity, your ethics or values, and no one can force you to. Stay strong, take evidence when necessary, and find where you belong. As always, I'll be here if you need to talk. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I am very curious to see if Glenn is a standalone case here for Halo, or if other people will follow in Glenn's footsteps. And speaking about following in footsteps, next up we're talking about Battlefield 6 versus Call of Duty. Now, we talked about Call of Duty kind of trolling Battlefield 6 by being free to play the week that Battlefield 6 launches. Anyways, here, it seems as if fans of Battlefield 6 are following along in trolling Call of Duty. From my understanding here, there's a whole bunch of Call of Duty specific maps that are being rebuilt in Battlefield by fans. I'm very curious to see where this goes and if they stay up, but let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and I definitely have my popcorn out. And speaking about getting your popcorn out, next up we're talking about Xbox, and the headline is a little bit misleading. It says Xbox founder. I would argue it should say Xbox co-founder, or one of Xbox's original founders. But anyways, here it says Xbox founder describes Game Pass price hikes as greed over gaming. So Laura's video is up on YouTube. It's not very long at all, 13 minutes and 23 seconds, and there are some very interesting quotes in it, like shattering the brand and alienating loyal fans. And the video is titled My Thoughts on Game Pass. Again, like everything we talk about, link will be within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. And speaking about thoughts, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts about this one, but there's a new game up on Steam, and this one is called Project Shadowglass. And this is a game based on an AI idea, from my understanding here. It's not an AI game based on an idea, kind of the exact opposite. The developers saw an idea, and instead of having AI do it, they did something way better. Unfortunately, there's no release date or price yet on Steam, but you can check it out. It can be wish listed. And if you wanted to learn more about the game, I would recommend checking out the time extension article titled "They Said It Couldn't Be Done. Indie Dev Brings Impossible AI-Generated RPG Concept to Life." Way better than the AI slop people were trying to push before. And speaking about AI and that kind of stuff, next up we're talking about Intel. And Intel has just announced XeSS3. So from my understanding here, XeSS3 MFG, which is multi-frame generation, will support multi-frame generation. And it will support 2x, 3x, and 4x modes. XeSS3 will debut in 2026, and I am really curious to see how it compares to DLSS and FSR. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.